Well, excited to see everybody. We're excited to get started. We had a really good preseason. I've obviously done quite a few of these over the years, and we are a team that was very young last year and featured a lot of new players. In fact, our new players outnumbered our returners last year. And we flipped that around this year. We have a really good group of returners. A lot of them are still underclassmen, sophomores, a lot of impact players at that age group, but we've grown a lot over the year. We've been able to see that. We won all our spring matches, and we won our preseason match. And so we're seeing that while it's a lot of the same faces, it looks like quite a different team out on the field. And it's exciting to watch. I think one positive I can point to during the preseason, probably of all the years I've been coaching, probably had the best 10 days I've had in terms of watching the team grow and learn. Individually, we may not have some of the talented players maybe we've had over the years that were seniors that went on to pro careers and things like that. But as a group, we've really grown, and there's been a lot of learning taking place at practice. And that's exciting as a coach because as a coach, you're a teacher. And you want to see what the product is going to be. How are they going to translate that on game day? And I think the players are excited about that opportunity. We're jumping right in with both feet. University of Tampa is one of the perennial powerhouses, not just in our region, but in the entire country. So we're going to take them on right off the bat and try to measure ourselves and find out where we're at. And that way we'll know where we need to go.
Other questions? You'll find out, you talk about finding out how good you are maybe with Tampa right off the bat, but you talk about being excited about this team. What excites you most about the type of team you have? What do you
well,
elements does this team
as a coach, I enjoy the teaching aspect. I mean, I think that's what you are. You're a teacher. And so what excites me about this team is how far, not necessarily where we are, we're not sure where we are, but it's how far we've come from last year until now with a lot of the same players. That's what excites me. So I'm excited to see and to watch them compete and get the opportunity to make their mark and see where they are.
Bill, reflect a little bit on your summer experience because that had to be a great moment for you. You're from there to be able to coach a team in a championship game like that in a stadium that had 18,000. What was that all like?
Well, it was a great experience. It was, and I'm really thankful for the University of West Florida and our administrators for giving me the opportunity to do that and be involved with it. It was very special to me being in Chattanooga, my hometown. It allowed me a lot of professional growth, I feel, because we're competing with the New York Cosmos, the New York Red Bulls, professional teams. We're in front of TV cameras every day. And so it's just a whole nother environment. And then to have crowds, I think our last 3 home crowds were maybe 7,000, 9,000, and then 18,500, which set an amateur record for the entire country. So to have that kind of exposure, I think it's a great opportunity. It was a lot of fun. It was really good in the moment. But I also think it's prepared me to come back and now do a better job here. And so, as exciting as it was, I'm really happy to be back on campus working with our student athletes and watching the progress that they're making, and hopefully some of them will continue on in that level and higher in the future.
What did you maybe take away from those players that you can incorporate here? And obviously those guys are elite players, and that had to be great for you. What was it like to not take away?
Well, so a takeaway that we need to instill in our players here is the type of focus and the level of motivation that those players have every day at training. We need to find a way to develop that and to get our players. I mean, those are elite athletes, and they take a lot of pride in what they do, and our guys do as well, or they wouldn't be at this level. But it demonstrates to me that as a team, there's another level we can get to. And so we've got to move our individuals forward so that we can bring that same kind of desire to compete every single day and no matter what the game. I think that's a lot of games, players, younger players, and I think it's more to do with the age as well. Younger players like ours may lose focus in a training session on a game that they perceive as not as important as something else. When I look at the players at that level, it doesn't matter if you're doing rock, paper, scissors. They're competing with every ounce of themselves. And so we have to find a way to instill that in not just some of our players here at West Florida, because we certainly have that, but in all of our players or close to it.
Both players, very young team last year. What did you learn from the experience, and how do you think that's going to how are you better now?
Well, my freshman year, when it was a lot of older players as well, and sophomore year, and like Coach said, the difference was like we were able to focus better and take every game as the same. And last year, since we had a lot of new players, a lot of young guys, it was hard getting along and focusing sometimes for certain games and getting everybody on the same page. And I'm sure that after last year, talking to the guys and all, I'm pretty sure this year it will be a little different. Everybody wants to win, and nobody wants to have a losing season like we did last year.
Yeah, I think this year as a junior or senior, like what we learned from last year is that we have to take more responsibilities as players, as leaders, and just do our best to bring the team up.
Felipe, you entered this year, last year with the first team on GSC, this year as a leader, one of the top strikers in the conference. Can you just talk about your mindset heading into each game and kind of that responsibility you have to be able to put the ball in the net, for this team?
Yeah, well, last year wasn't as good as the previous 2 years, and I spent most of the spring injured as well, so that gave me some time off to miss playing the game as well and take a mental break. And over the summer and the whole time I was hurt, I was just thinking about coming back. And now that I'm actually back and it's my last year, I've been working hard to be able to score goals and help the team go forward.
And I'll jump in. I think that we'll see the best of Felipe this year. The previous 2 years, he had some upperclassmen that gave him a lot of help. And last year, it was quite a change because he was, in the eyes of all our opponents, the guy. And so he had to deal with that kind of pressure. He played, toughed it out and played through an injury all year long that would have probably sidelined most players. And this year, I feel like we've brought in some kids that can help him, as well as some of our returners have gotten better. Our first scrimmage, all 3 goals came from freshmen. So I think that hopefully just having a little better team chemistry will not allow opponents to key on him the way they did last year. So I think he's gonna do good things.
And Japhet, with a team like this, one of the teams with the men's soccer program that puts so many players in professional and on the next level, can you talk about what it means to be a part of a program where you're seeing players that you played with just a couple years ago that are doing so well professionally, and kind of what that says about the program?
I mean, it's just not put more pressure on us, but we have like higher expectation from coaches and for everybody around. Everybody that has been around, they just expect more and more from us. I mean, it's good. It's really competitive. So I think as a player, you have to like it.